So our next chapter is on parallel lines, transversals, and the angles that are created. So first thing that I want to do is kind of talk about some of the vocabulary associated with this chapter. So first thing we have here, parallel lines. I think most of us know what parallel lines are, but if you don't, parallel lines are coplanar, meaning they lie in the same plane that do not intersect. Okay, so parallel lines don't intersect, but they have to lie in the same plane. Okay, the symbol for parallel. Symbol for parallel. If I have this line sub 4, I'd say it's parallel, this line sub 5. Okay, so our parallel symbol is just two parallel lines. Okay, sometimes you'll see vertical. Okay, sometimes they'll be slanted. Off to the right here, I have two parallel lines. So I have line JK and line LM. Those are parallel. The way to symbolize parallel in a picture are these two arrows here. Okay, so if you have that same number of arrows within your line, that means those lines would be parallel. Okay, the next type of line I have is a skew line. Okay, skew lines are lines that do not intersect and are not coplanar. Okay, so again, do you remember back from chapter 1 when I did my arms like this? No? Okay, so one line, yeah, thank you. One line is on one plane, okay, it's going this way. Okay, another line could be on a different plane going this way. Now those lines would never intersect, but they're not considered parallel. Okay, those are your skewed lines. Okay, where you see one going this way and one going this way, where they won't ever intersect. Okay, those are skew. So, what is the difference between parallel lines and skew lines? Do you know, Evan?
Two lines on the same plane.
Go.
Two lines on the same plane, or at least lines on the same plane.
Yep, our which one?
And skewed parallel.
Yep.
Parallel on the same plane.
Yep.
And skewed on non-same plane.
Yes. Okay, so parallel lines lie on the same plane, and skew lines lie on different planes. Again, what they share in common is that they won't ever intersect. Okay, but their difference, parallel on the same plane, skew lines on different planes. All right, so just like with parallel lines, we can have parallel planes. Okay, they are planes that do not intersect. Okay, if segments and rays are contained within lines that are parallel or skew, then the segments or rays are parallel or skew. Okay, so if we're talking about the lines, okay, you're saying the lines are parallel, then their segments contained in that line are parallel. If you're saying that the lines are skew, then the segments contained within those lines are also skew. Okay, so in my next section here, we have some examples. Okay, so in the figure, identify each of the following. So which line is parallel to line FE and contains point B? So FE is right here, and we need a line parallel to that that would contain point B. That would be AB. Okay, so line AB would be parallel to FE. 2, which line is skew to FE and contains point B? So again, we're looking at FE and point B, and we need a line skew to that line FE. CB would be skew. Okay, so you have to look at this three-dimensionally. Okay? If I were to extend BC further, that lies on a separate plane than FE. So they will go right past each other and never intersect. Okay? It's not two-dimensional, it's not a flat surface. It's three-dimensional. Okay, 3. Which line is perpendicular to line FE and contains point C? Perpendicular, again, meaning it creates a 90 degrees. So they have to intersect.
EC.
So FE is here, point C is here. It would be EC.
You're right.
Okay, then number 4. Which line is perpendicular to FE and contains point D?
Hey. She put DF, so you can. Hey.
Okay, questions on identifying these lines that are parallel or skew? Or perpendicular, I guess. All right. Shh. Quiet, please. Shh. So we're going to do the same thing in the next couple examples. Okay, except this time you're identifying all. Okay? So for some of these, you're going to have a lot. So I'm going to have you guys do these 4. I'm going to tell you how many segments though. So for number 5, you should have 5 segments that are parallel to QX. For number 6, you should have 6 planes that intersect MHE. For number 7, you should have 3 segments parallel to QR. And number 8, you should have 8 segments skewed to AG. I know, you're going to find all of those segments. So I want you guys to find all of those segments or those planes for those problems. I just wanted to give you the number of how many there are. Okay, so talk to each other, look for those segments or planes. Remember in number 6 that your planes extend infinitely. Okay, planes extend infinitely, they don't just create a triangle.
Hold on, slow down, child. It should be OG.
OG what? This way, and QX is this away.
What is A? OH?
Wait, try SG,
Okay, that's cool. We're smart. Now all planes that intersect plane M and G.
planes.
What the?
Penmanship, not.
Shut up, Leah.
Penmanship is the way you.
Do your
Am I
next couple
correct or am I
problems.
wrong?
You are not helping me solve my problem. You are not being empathetic. You are being sympathetic. Oh my God. What is it?
You don't understand the ones with the planes? You're going to go to the next one.
Well,
I'm probably wrong.
that's fine. It's
All segments that are.
That's what I was doing, Julia. That's what I was doing.
not I like writing.
Stop it.
XA.
Hey, don't throw things.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I'm right.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. H what?
No, I said.
HQ don't even.
I said HE. HQ is even on the one line.
What? H just said that. Sorry.
Oh, sure.
And OG.
No, they're intersecting.
Ah!
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
Halfway down. And then. No.
What about like keywords?
Oh, yeah.
And. Yeah. I don't remember.
Okay, we got 3 more.
Or in keys. Which one do you want? You can either have.
All right, I want to start going over this. I know some of you aren't done yet. That's okay. But we still have to get to the back side of our note sheet. So I'm going to start going through these ones. So in number 5, you should have segment NE,
Yeah.
MH, TO,
RA.
RA, and SG. Okay, so those are your 5. I think most of you got those ones pretty easily. Write down for me now. All right, number 6 is talking about the planes. So just like what I said when you started these, planes extend infinitely in all directions. Okay, so just because you label a plane with 3 points doesn't mean that plane only makes up that triangle. Okay, it will extend in every direction. So if you're looking at plane MHE, that's this plane right here on the top. Okay, it includes that point N. Okay, it also extends this way, and this way. So that plane will keep extending. So I want to look for the planes that intersect it. Okay, well that would be this side plane right here. You can use any 3 of those letters. You don't need all 4. You just need to pick 3. Okay, so I'll just choose TOH. Okay, so this plane, you could have used MTO or any variation of those letters. Okay, now another plane that intersects it is this one right here. Okay, if I were to extend that up, those two would intersect. Okay, so again, I can label this with any of those 4 letters. Let's just do OGS. Okay. This bottom one is parallel to that top one, so that won't be included in our intersection. This plane, however, if again I extend that, it would intersect. Okay, and I'll just label this RAX. Okay. Another one would be this one over here. It does intersect at NE, already in our picture. And again, I can pick any 3 of those 4 points. I'll just use NEX. Okay, now I still need 2 more. Okay, those 2 planes in the front and in the back would also count. So I just need 3 points from that front one and 3 points from that back one. Okay, so I'll do HEX. Okay, so again, any 3 of those points would work. And then the ones in the back here, I'll use TMN. But again, any of those back points, any 3, would also work. Do you see all those planes that would intersect it now? It's every plane but the bottom one. Okay, number 7, I had segment XA, segment OH, and segment MT. Okay, so those would be your 3. All right, the bottom one, I'm just going to write out all the segments. So we have QX. Make sure you have these somewhere down on your paper. So I had QX, NE, MH, TO, ST, QR, MT, and NQ. What? Yeah, I'll stay there. So make sure they don't have to be in this order. You could flip S and T around. You could flip M and T around, anything like that. But again, skew lines will never intersect, and they do lie on different planes. Okay? The back page doesn't take that long. Any questions on these answers I got here, the segments or the planes?
Not one bit.
Thank you. All right, when you're done writing those out, if you didn't get that far, flip your page over. Okay, we're going to talk about angles created with 3 lines. Yeah, probably. All right. So at the top, a line that intersects 2 or more coplanar lines at different points is called a transversal. Okay, so we have a transversal. In the diagram, okay, this diagram right here, line T is the transversal because it intersects lines N and M. Okay, so your transversal will intersect two other lines. Now with that transversal and your two lines, you have 4 interior angles. Okay? Those 4 interior angles lie in the region between line N and M. Okay, so between those two lines. So our interior angles are 5, 6, 3, and 4. Okay, so those are the angles inside or between those two lines. Now you also have 4 exterior angles that lie in the two regions that are not between lines N and M. So we have exterior angles are angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8.
Can you stop looking at me?
Stop. Okay, so we have interior angles and exterior angles. Now we do have some more specific names for some of these angle pairs. So we have consecutive interior angles. Okay? Consecutive interior angles are interior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal. Okay, so angle 3, this angle here, and angle 5 are a pair of consecutive interior angles. Okay, so they're both interior and lie on the same side of that transversal teeth. So another pair would be 4 and 6. Okay, so they lie on the same side of that transversal and they're both interior angles. So we have angle 4 and angle 6. Okay, and we abbreviate consecutive interior angles as CIA. Consecutive interior angle. The next type we have is alternate interior angles. Okay, those are non-adjacent interior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay, so non-adjacent meaning they are not next to each other, and then they lie on opposite sides, so you'll alternate over that transversal. So angles 3 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles. Okay, so 3 is here. You have to cross over that transversal to get to 6. Okay, they're both interior and on separate sides. So another pair would be what?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. Okay, and again, we have an abbreviation. That's AIA, alternate interior angle. The next type is alternate exterior angles. Okay, those are non-adjacent exterior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay, so again, we have that alternate word. That alternate means that they're going to be on opposite sides of your transversal. Okay, so for alternate interior and alternate exterior. Except this time they are exterior angles. So we have 1 and 8 are alternate exterior angles. Okay, your other pair of alternate exterior angles would be 2 and 7. Okay, and our abbreviation is AEA. The last type is corresponding angles. Okay, they lie on the same side of the transversal. and on the same side of the lines N and M. Okay, so we don't have an alternate in this case, so we're not going over the transversal. They lie on the same side. Now they also lie on the same side as N and M. So 1 and 5 would be corresponding angles. Okay, it lies on the top of N, lies on the top of M. Okay, the other 3 pairs. Okay, I had 1 and 5. Another pair would be 2 and 6. Okay, lie on the same side of the transversal. Both are on top of the lines there. Okay, so another pair at the bottom here would be angle 2 and angle 6. Okay, we need 2 more pairs from our picture.
Angle 3.
And angle 7. Okay, what's the last one? 4 and 8. Okay, so we're just identifying those different angles. Okay, our abbreviation for corresponding angles is just CA. All right, so bottom examples here. We want to identify the transversal connecting the pair of angles, so we have to identify which line is our transversal. Okay, then classify the relationship between each pair of angles as alternate interior, exterior, corresponding, or consecutive interior.
Is the first one alternate exterior?
Yes. So letter A, we have angle 10 and angle 16. Which line would be considered our transversal?
Q.
It would be Q. Okay, so line Q is our transversal. Your transversal has to hit both of those angles. Okay? Your transversal has to hit both of those angles. It does hit both 10 and 16. Okay, now which type of angles are they? Alternate exterior angles. Okay, letter B, we have angle 4 and angle 12. Again, your transversal has to hit both of those angles. So which line would be our transversal? Line N. Okay, and then which type of angles are those? Corresponding. Those are corresponding angles. Letter C, we have angle 12 and 13. Again, transversal has to hit both angles. So which line would be my transversal? Q. Okay, and then what type of angles are those?
Consecutive interior.
AIA. Then I have angle 3 and angle 9. Which line is my transversal? N. Okay, and then what type of angles would those be if N's my transversal?
Is it alternate interior?
Alternate interior angles. Okay, so again, your transversal has to hit both of those angles. They have to make up one of the rays that makes those angles. Okay? And then you want to, and then you want to label what type of angles those are.